Now, as we've been hearing, a group of influential MPs have backed HS2 today. But would the prospect of a 49-minute journey to London by rail persuade you to switch from your car to taking the train? And if you're a regular train user, are you willing to pay more for shaving over half an hour off the regular journey time to London on Virgin? Will you use High Speed 2? 08453 009956. Let's speak to Joe Rukin, who's one of the co-founders of Stop HS2, based here in the West Midlands, and Deborah Smith from Solihull, who set up the group Hands Up for HS2. Deborah, hello.
Hello.
Hands up for HS2. So you're one of the people, if I ask the question, who's willing to use it. Presumably you're one of them.
Well, absolutely. And also, the reason I set up the campaign is I have two young sons who I want them to have opportunities for jobs and economic potential when they grow up, along with the rest of their generation. We have amongst the highest unemployment figures in the country, in this region, particularly youth unemployment, and it's perpetuating across generations. We need to do something like High Speed 2 to give a real possibility for the next generation in this region and the rest of the country.
So how will High Speed 2 help the economic prospects of the region?
Well, wherever you improve transport frequency, transport timing, transport accessibility, you improve job potential. Businesses locate near the transport hubs that these railways provide. Wages are higher. There are more opportunities for people to connect with markets in other parts of the country, in other parts of Europe, and then bring their new orders, bring their deals back to be fulfilled in these locations. So we won't only benefit by people being able to use High Speed 2 themselves, but also by employers being able to use it to grow their businesses in this region.
So, Joe, if we turn our back on High Speed 2, we're condemning the West Midlands to become an economic backwater.
No, that's absolute rubbish. You've just heard speak about doing this for the children, doing this for the future. My son's 6, and a month ago I signed the release form at school for him to do video conferencing at the age of 6. It's things like this that are going to be the future that will allow us to develop more jobs in more areas. What HS2 does is it's very, very focused on the airport and the centre of Birmingham. That's one of the reasons, say, Coventry City Council unanimously oppose HS2, because it's just another case of Birmingham getting stuff and the rest of the West Midlands getting stuffed.
But, Joe, very often we hear the cry from people all over the West Midlands of, we get nothing, London gets everything. And here's an opportunity.
Well, getting to London, though.
Yeah, but here's an opportunity for the West Midlands to get its hands on a major infrastructure project funded by central government. If it was, for example, going to Manchester and bypassing Birmingham or any other part of the West Midlands, people would say, look, there you go again, we're being missed out.
Well, you say funded by central government, funded by you and me, mate. And this is one of the big questions about it. They're saying that the cost is $33 billion, but the West Coast Main Line upgrade, for example, came in 3 times over budget. You look at the Olympics in the original budget, how much is this actually going to end up costing us? We can't build it for 2 years later now, because Crossrail is 2 years later already. So the 2015 start date has been put back to 2017 because we can't afford both of them at the same time. Yet, this could come in massively over budget, and it's just something that's going to benefit the richest in society. That's what the Sustainable Development Commission said.
Well, Deborah, what do you say to that?
Well, I think Joe is missing the point, sadly. You know, he comes back to this point time and time again. It benefits only the richest in society. It's a fast train for fat cats. Well, fat cats, or business leaders as they're more often known, their job is to build their businesses, to grow their businesses, and that means more jobs, more employment. And his point about video conferencing, absolutely, video conferencing and the internet and all of the other forms of digital media are an important part of business today. But years and years and years of having video conferencing has never taken away from the fact that people like to eye each other up when they do a deal. They like to see the product. They like to touch the product. They like to be in the room, be in the meeting. And all video conferencing has ever been in the 20, 30 years it's been around now has been as a good add-on to the fundamentals of doing business, which is doing it face-to-face. Otherwise, places like the NEC, which we're very proud of in our region, wouldn't be such an astonishing international success. Because fundamentally, people like to be there, be in the room.
Joe?
Well, I'm very interested in the idea that video conferencing has been around in its present form for like 30 years. That's a bit of a new one on me. But what you find is that the Transport Select Committee, because while we're on today, it's about the report. Now, the Transport Select Committee has said, looking at, say, France, if you want the wider economic benefit, there's a stack more investment that you've got to put in on top of this. The existing transport infrastructure, doing stuff to encourage businesses to come in, and where's the plan for that? Where's the plan for loads of things? See, that's the main thing you've got to take out of this report, is the Transport Select Committee has effectively said, go back and do it again, because they're saying that there should not be a decision on HS2 until there's more clarity on very important things like the financial and economic case, the environmental impact, the wider policy context, how it connects to Heathrow, the justification for the route, and the assessment of the alternatives. They want clear answers on all of those things and don't think that the government should proceed until that has happened. This is a rush job, and they are saying do it properly, not quickly, but properly, and guarantee and convince us all these headline benefits, like it being a magic wand that's going to cure the north-south divide, is true.
OK, Joe, lovely to speak to you. There's Joe Rukin, one of the co-founders of Stop HS2, and we also heard from Deborah Smith from Solihull, who set up the group Hands Up for HS2. Deborah, thank you as well. You've heard what they've had to say. Is there a case for this high-speed railway costing us, the taxpayer, more than £32 billion?